I love me some Golden Grams. Love me some Golden Grams.
Golden Grams used to be the bomb. Okay, I like this list, Jemele.
Like
Go ahead.
Golden Grams. Also gonna say Frosted Flakes.
Shredded.
Flakes.
Shredded.
Are you 62 and need a fiber? Okay. What? Why would anybody eat shredded wheat? Cari.
Frosted shredded wheat was my favorite. Frosted, go on.
Cari,
I don't mean to
that's not a
flex.
I just want you to know that is not a flex. So, Cari, I have some Coscarelli tea. This is
Give it to me.
All right, I got some Coscarelli tea. All right, so I'm here in New York. You're still in the south of France. I'm super jealous because the south of France is my happy place. And I'm just disgusted with you right now.
And I'm having some Pellegrino. Oh my goodness, life.
You just disgust me on so many levels right now. I'm jealous. I'm a hater. I'm all of these things right now because I'm tired of seeing these photos from Sport Beach and from all the things you're doing at Cannes. And I'm like, damn it. Why am I not
let me give you, by the time this airs, you guys will know, by the time this episode airs, because we're doing part 2, because I'll be flying back. But from my understanding, my panel I did for the MBPA, and they just announced a new project for the Players Union. It's called Athletes Unlimited, and it's basically it goes where the athlete is no longer a talent for hire, but the athlete is the owner. So that was what I did, and I did that with Jalen Brown.
Right. And all the stuff is happening with him, right?
Correct, friend.
So you got some tea too.
Yes, but you go first with your tea.
All right. So here's a Coscarelli tea. So I'm in New York to do Abby Phillips' show Newsnight on CNN. I ran into the producer that you tried to set Coscarelli up with. Yes. And I didn't know who it was because you never told me who the producer was.
How'd you know?
No, you never told me. And then I was like, oh, it was you. Because her and I were just talking because I'm going to be actually coming back to New York in a couple of weeks to do, Abby has another show that's launching, the Confessions and Obsessions show. Yep. And so I'm going to be coming back to record one of those episodes. And we were talking about that. And she was like, oh.
Coscarelli said, oh, let's hear this.
She was like, oh, did Cari tell you that she tried to hook me up with your producer? I was like, you're the one? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know whatever. I was like, I didn't know. So so I was like, well, what happened? Because I think, at least from what I recall from Coscarelli's version of the events, is that you guys were both kind of busy, tried to make it work. That's what it was, Buffy. Why is that the first thing she brought up? He used his move as an excuse. I was like, yeah, I thought you guys were talking and there might have been something like
I'm done with him. Yeah. He totally ghosted her. He's trying to act like he didn't ghost her.
That's what she told me.
And now it's back and forth and they're both going. And I'm like, I'm done. I tried to do it. I tried to make a love connection. I care about Coscarelli and I care about his happiness. But now,
yes.
You know what? Can I say something? He didn't. I'm not going to say that. Never
mind. Well, her version of the events are that Coscarelli used his move as an excuse. And that's why, because she was like, I just didn't, essentially she said she just didn't understand, like, why is moving like such a big thing that you just got to check out on.
Let me tell you something. Let a guy be like, I'll call you after I move. I'd be like, never call me again. How about that? Right. I just got married and my husband loves me a lot. If you tried to call me a month later after you moved, I'd be like, I got married during that month. Never mind. Goodbye. And my husband, and I love him lots, and he's upset when people call. So goodbye. Forever.
Yes. So all I'm saying is the feeling by the other party, Coscarelli, is that you used the move as an excuse and you really wasn't that interested. I agree. Don't shoot the messenger. That's what I agree.
And I agree. And I agree.
I got receipts.
Don't pull up your boxes, your unpacked boxes behind you.
Right. This is me moving.
Hold on 1 second. I have to open the door. 1 second. I know you guys hate that. Pausing. Don't be mad at me. I'm in someone else's house. Hold on.
Once again, I love it because if something doesn't happen in the recording, I'm like, are you really recording with Cari Champion? I don't think so.
Coscarelli ghosted my producer, our producer that we work with at CNN. And when he sees her on her glow up, he's going to be so like jealous.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Why Coscarelli trying to make sure we have a hostile work environment somewhere else?
Yeah, Coscarelli. We do the pod here. Can we live elsewhere? Like, don't make our lives bad at our other place.
Other little side gig, which
our little side hustle with our dang Coscarelli. Dang. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I will say this. Speaking of another little side gig hustle, doing that panel with Jalen Brown, I had mentioned that when all that was going on, he seemed a little distracted, but but still focused at the same time. And I was just like, and he wasn't. But how do you think he felt when he knew they were willing to trade him for Giannis? Is that disrespectful? Because he was the 2024 Finals MVP. So is that disrespectful in any capacity?
I mean,
all to anybody.
Yeah, because I think he's probably thinking, have an eye. And then he was firmly in the MVP race this past season when they didn't have Jason Tatum. And I think there's this feeling that the Celtics have chosen their fighter, and it's Jason Tatum. And Jason Tatum is also he has generational talent. He's an excellent player. Typically, you would think if you have two players who are generational talents, you figure out a way to make that work. That just seems like what would be the obvious. But I got to tell you.
But you got it like Giannis, though. It's Giannis. So
I know.
You can't.
I understand. And one got to go. But I think this is deeper than Giannis, though. I think this is deeper than Giannis. Yeah, because I think, generally speaking, that the Celtics are listening when it comes to Jalen Brown. And if you're him, you're probably confused by this. But I got to say, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Oh, no. I'm not. And I don't think, by the way, I don't think he is either. Did you see him foot racing with Noah Lyles here?
I did.
I don't think like he was like, I get it. Like, I don't think he is either. I don't think he's surprised.
I think this is because I'm trying to figure out a way how to say this without sounding insulting to Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Because again, I think he's a great player, like really great player. And I expect, like I expect big things from him as he's already proven in his career. But I think probably in the minds of the Celtics organization, they probably feel like Jason Tatum is a better fit for them than Jalen Brown. Because I do think some of this is personality based. Like Jalen Brown, one thing and I did an event, he had this wonderful STEM camp that he did for underserved kids in Boston that was really great. And I was talking to him about it, and he was just like, yeah, like he didn't want to do the traditional thing of having a basketball camp. He wanted to give these kids some exposure, some life skills, to have them do something academic based that had nothing to do with basketball. And I thought that was really amazing and incredible. Jalen Brown speaks his mind. He's very outspoken about a lot of things, especially about social issues.
Well, you heard Stephen A. go on that rant. He was like, you don't want me to tell you what they say. That's all people kept talking about when they heard about the trade.
I don't know what Stephen A. is referring to, but I'm saying this with no inside information, but just understanding how, Stephen A. is alluding to the fact that he has some inside information, but he's sort of weaponizing it with the way that he's presenting it. Because he's just like, oh, you don't want me to tell me what you say. It's like, all right. But I think anybody who is using a little bit of critical thinking and a little bit of deductive logic is that I think that there's probably a feeling, and it's very unfair to Jalen Brown. Let me just say that he is too outspoken and too like I can, because organizations, man, like they play these games, all right, and it's like they will go with somebody who they feel like is not going to create headlines and attention that they don't want. And that attention does not always have to be bad attention. Like, again, I rebut.
Okay. They will make room for who they want to make room for. And we've seen it in real time. I do agree with you. He's the kind of person that's scared. He even said that on the panel. He said, I'm the kind of player that might scare you. I'll walk right up to the line. I kiss the line. He said it on the panel. Because what he said was like, I don't think there's a brand, because this people are selling themselves, and they were talking about this athlete as an owner. He was like, I've never seen a brand that fits who I am, so that's why I created the brand. I am a brand. He was like, I want my own. I want to be in charge. Like, and you could tell the audience got a little uncomfortable, and he was like, But what he was saying was truthful. And so they make allowances for whom they want to make allowances for. He's just not someone they want to make allowances for. Is it his presentation? Is it how does he need to smile more?
I don't even think it's on him, honestly.
I don't know what it is.
I don't think it's on him.
I just don't think it's fair. I just don't think it's fair. And I hate
it's not.
I hate that because you and I both know we've experienced that. And it's all of the, I'm uncomfortable with this person because something about them makes me uncomfortable because they're going to
ask too many questions. They're going to demand too many things.
They're too smart.
They're too smart.
Tell them to read and write. They run around here thinking they know stuff.
And I hate saying that because it becomes an indictment of the people that they keep, right? So that's why I said I want to say this in a way as not to say that by insinuation that Jason Tatum's the opposite. I don't know Jason Tatum well enough, but I do know that Jason Tatum is more reserved. He is more like he, as far as I know, he doesn't have like a Twitch or I think that's Twitch that Jalen Brown does, where he has like kind of his own show. But he is somebody who is kind of what people used to say about Rajon Rondo. Like Rajon Rondo, when he was playing, he ain't one of them ones you're gonna be able to run everything back, and like he's gonna be okay with everything. Like he's gonna ask some questions. He's gonna say like, I kind of want to be in charge of this. Like he's gonna operate an agency, and people and players in any organization, because sports, don't get it twisted, sports is about conformity. Like on some level, it is about conformity. Not every sport, but especially team sports. It's like, that's why football has a certain way about it. Baseball has a certain way about it. But they always make exceptions to that rule. I by the way, not surprised by that. I was surprised, but not surprised. I was more surprised by his behavior, which was a little distracted, but for the most part, really wise. I wouldn't characterize it as unbothered, but aware of his circumstances, maybe not even surprised, by the way, because of how he presents. Because I said to him, I was like, you're making people scared. I started laughing, LOL. He was like, I walk right up to the line. I kiss it. He said, and that's where I live. And that's just who I am. Like, that was just a message in a message. I was like, I hear you. Loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear. Yeah,
I want to play a game with you.
That's also my selfish way of tampering, because I really would love to see him in a Pistons uniform. But
girl, ain't nobody going there. Yeah, you know what? That's not true. Because I want him to be a Laker. I want him to be a Laker. That's what I'm just talking. Yeah, that ain't true. He's going to be a Laker. Start the rumor.
I feel like Jalen Brown would be a perfect fit culturally, basketball
in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, of Detroit.
Okay, fine. We fighting over somebody who is plenty of underserved kids that need some help. Yeah, listen, he is fully settled. He's still a Celtic. Let's not send him somewhere he doesn't need to be. But I will tell you, years ago, he and I had a conversation, and I was like, Cole would have loved you in a uniform. He's like, he would have loved me in a uniform. Wouldn't he have? I said, he sure would have. He's just a sweet gentleman. He was just a sweet, lovely gentleman. I mean, just really, really sweet. I was like, "Aw, the kids!"
And it's amazing. His mom is a Spartan, so
she was there. They did the wellness. They did the wellness oasis that Oprah did that I was telling you about.
Okay. Yet another reason he needs to come to Detroit.
I want to play a game with you, and you forgot. We're getting ready to talk about the WNBA, but before we do, have you've played this game? Start, bench, cut.
I have, and I've played the vulgar version of this game as well.
I don't know what that means. I'm a lady, but I want to.
I know you played that game before. Like, it's just the initials are MFK. Okay, that is the initials, and the people out there, our listeners and viewers, they know what I'm talking about. But yes, I've played start, bench, cut. And now you just gonna look at me shamefully. Is that what?
Yeah. Because. How long you been like this? I'm
feeling the judgment.
Yeah, how long you been this way? How long you been so nasty?
I'm nasty. What about the kids, Cari? What about the kids?
You got 3 WNBA players. 1 you start, 1 you bench, 1 you cut. Olivia Miles, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark. Go.
Now you're just being a jerk. Cari is being a jerk. Is being a jerk. You are being a jerk. So
I want you to know, while I was in Cannes, I was sitting with some legends.
Did they make you answer this?
and they made me answer this question. And they were looking at me like, say it so we could judge you for the rest of your life. And it was so much pressure. And I did. I played the game. So it's your turn. No pressure. It's your friend. It's a safe space. No one's listening.
I'm starting Paige Beckers.
I said that. Yep. I said that so far. Okay. Paige. I'm with you.
I'm benching Olivia Miles and I'm cutting Caitlin Clark. I know. Yes. RIP to my mentions, to everything. I know this is about to be a headline everywhere. I think Caitlin Clark is very talented. I want people to understand this, right? There's a lot of combinations you could have thrown at me. She would have made it for sure. But I think you also have to look at with Paige. I mean, Paige, she has a handle that reminds me.
She wanted M's. She wanted them ones.
And that's not to suggest, like, all of them in their own way is one of them ones. But like, her skill set, man, it's like, that's tough. And Olivia, man, especially the way she's playing right now, like I know, Jesse, this is a setup. This is a setup so that Caitlin Clark's angry fans can once again be blowing up my phone and being ridiculous. And what was your answer, Cari? Yes. You said you would start Paige.
We answered exactly the same. The exact same. We answered the exact same. Just trying to make Cari answer too. I'm already on the heat.
We both did this together.
We did this together. But I mean, let's be honest. Like that's like and by the way, everybody else answered the same way too. If we're gonna keep it above.
Really? Okay, because that was gonna be my next question. Is like, was there consensus in the group? We already we're ganging up on you. That's right.
I mean, I think for the most part, because what you see it with Paige is what you see, and I think that and Olivia she's still early. She still thinks she can work on too. I think she's box office. I think she's special. All the things we love, and I don't think that makes Caitlin any less great. But we're just saying what we're going. This is an embarrassment of riches for the WNBA. It is an embarrassment of riches for the WNBA if you have such a tough decision to make with such young players, and there's only more to come, which leads me to our next topic. So Front Office Sports has an article out that says Unrivaled and Project B are in, I guess they're at war. They're in an arms race for WNBA talent, and that's beautiful. Project B, you're very familiar with Project B, are you not?
I am, because I know some people who are working with them. And, I mean, they are not giving me any house secrets, just so people know. But like, they're just really excited about what's to come. I know Alana Beard, like, I've known her for a while. It's been a while since I talked to Alana Beard, who is one of the executives in the league, who carries a ton of respect. Former WNBA Defensive Player of the Year. Like, a lot of people love her. And so with her spearheading that league along with some very principled investors, I think it's like the founder of Skype and somebody who used to be with Facebook, I believe. So they got dough. They
have a lot of money. They have a lot of money behind them. Our girl, Nneka Ogwumike, who's been on the show, in terms of she signed with them early on. And I think it was like a 7-figure deal they were saying they were giving her. Yeah. Now, this league will also play at the same time, just about the same schedule that Unrivaled has. But a year ago, Flagrant Johnson and AZ Fudd were both 2025 future of Unrivaled. They had an NIL deal, right? So now here they are thinking, at least I would have thought they both would have went to play for Unrivaled. Turns out that AZ Fudd is now signing up with Project B. Flagrant is going to go with Unrivaled. So as these winter leagues start to compete, there's been a lot of conversation about what will happen. Will one survive? I am currently, and I always talk about this, here comes a plug, I am doing a series called The Biggest Rivalries of All Time. And we are focused on the very first rivalry in the WNBA, which would be the Houston Comets and then the New York Liberty. At the time, when before the WNBA was alive and well, there were all of these upstart leagues. Do you remember these upstart women's leagues that just couldn't get a foot? They couldn't get their footing. And some had money, some didn't. Some offered things that others couldn't. And so ultimately they ended up canceling each other out. And by the time the WNBA came along, it was a wrap. where do you see this going? Now, this is a huge future projection question. There's a lot of unknowns. Project B hasn't even started yet. Unrivaled seems to be great, good product. People love it. It has a lot of fanfare. But I am really curious if you think that there is enough, one, talent to support these two leagues and enough fan investment to support these two leagues in the off season.
Yeah, it's interesting that you brought that up because people do forget that when the WNBA started, they also had the ABL, the American Basketball League, and they started in '96, and I think the WNBA started in '97. I think that's what it was. They were, or maybe did they start the same year? No, it was '90. It was '96. They both started in '96, right?
No. The ABL I think started before them. That's what we've been. That's a little bit before the WNBA, and they were offering more bigger than salaries, the WNBA, bigger salaries than the WNBA. But go ahead.
Yeah, and so if you follow sort of the history of sports, this kind of always happens. Much like with the NBA, they also had a competing league that wound up being swallowed into the NBA. Though this is a little different because this is technically
a winter league.
Yeah, it's a winter league. I actually do think that there's room for an off-season league. I think there's the fan investment is there. I think these are two different styles of basketball. The Unrivaled's 3-on-3. It's
5-on-5.
It's 5-on-5, and that's an international league too. So I think that they're really going to probably try to tap into a big international audience, and that's not to say that it just is. I think it's going to be a bit of a different focus and enough distinction, both by the rosters and the volume that it will allow both leagues to coexist. And some of it just depends too on what's the TV deal, because ultimately that also has
everybody's fighting to get women's sports. Every panel I can is about how to monetize off of women's sports. I don't think they're going to have a hard time finding a network home.
No.
And what about AU? We forgot all about athletes. I've totally forgot about Athletes Unlimited.
Yep, athletes. So that's another one, and so
that's 3.
That's 3 leagues now. AU,
athletes are just it's a little different in what way? Athletes, that's where more. Well, I don't know.
I mean, it feels like Athletes Unlimited might be slightly more developmental. It feels like it is just based off the players that are in that league. That's not to suggest they're not pro level players, but it feels like a little bit of a different focus as well. And it's, I think, a little bit smaller too. And so, so what I would say is, like, I know it seems like they're taking a slice of pie and cutting it up 20 different ways, and you wonder, like, is anybody going to get full? But I think that there is such a tremendous appetite for women's basketball. And because Project B seems to be focused on tapping into the international market, I think it's going to be different. And also the salaries. I mean, like, they not only do they have, NECA, but Alyssa Thomas, they also have her and Camila Cardoso and Awa Pham, Jonquel Jones. So, like, you can tell by the players they're picking international players. Mm-hmm. Because, again, I think tapping into an international audience is really important for them. So I love it. I love it for the women just because it allows them to sort of maximize their earnings. Mm-hmm. And, not only that, it's like it was only a matter of time before somebody had the money and the know-how and the smarts to decide, you know what, instead of these players playing in like Turkey and Russia and all these other players playing international ball, why not just create an international league, of players that have international appeal and then go from there? So really who they're competing against are those leagues, those other women's leagues overseas. And, and so I think that's a smart strategy.
It should be noted, Unrivaled, allegedly, I don't know if this is true, they say they've locked up 90% of its roster spots. So they have 54 roster spots. They say 90% of the women are coming back. And it says that they signed Gabby Williams, who we all love, and rookie fave, Olivia Miles. So it doesn't seem as if they are really in an arms race for talent, but it does give these other players significant options and this wait and see. Like I could imagine Project B paying all these ladies this money, and then they get there and people start looking, across the street like, oh, it looks kind of good across the street. I want to try out what's going on over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is going to do, if they both can survive, is help these women make more money, one, and help and grow the game. My big concern was, are fans invested enough? Is there enough attention? Is there enough, do they want to pay attention to two different leagues, not even including AU, which we could, but two different off leagues, winter leagues? Do they want to go back and forth between Unrivaled and Project B? How does that look?
Well, because I think basketball fans just love basketball, and it's no different
watching ball. Okay,
they just love watching ball. Like, it's no different than you have your people who watch college basketball but also watch the NBA. It's like, I know there are different skill sets, right? Like, college is a little different because a lot of that is based off school loyalty and those kind of things. So I understand that. But, I just think basketball is just so global that it's a big canvas out there. It'll find its way. And then some of this is because people these days really tend to be fans of players. So if the player that you love to see is playing in Project B, you're going to watch that player. The player you love to see is Olivia Miles, you're going to watch Unrivaled and watch her game. So like even though there's a lot of things in general, not sports related, always clamoring for our attention, I think this is nothing but good things and the sign of growth. And what it's probably going to force the WNBA to do at some point, maybe this is for the next CBA, is like, listen, they already said it's going to be 50 games. That was already collectively bargained. I think the WNBA, and feeling the pressure from these other leagues, are then going to say, we're going to make the season longer. It's like, we're going to add games. So soon it'll be 60 games. Soon it'll be, and they're going to eat into that off-season time. But of course,
I was thinking that too, because we had just at the store. I was thinking it's just an interesting time right now. And I know we can make all of these projections and see what it'll be, but it's a very interesting time and probably arguably the most exciting time for women's sports. But what the WNBA needs to pay attention to is, I think they need we talked about leadership. They need an overhaul. They need somebody to address what's happening quick and fast, and someone who can be creative and turn that league in terms of its infrastructure into something that is a little more sustainable and what the players want. Like, the players need to be put first in a lot of ways. And while they have this great new deal, right, that everyone loves, and these women are making money, they're now going to turn around and be looking for more because they know there's more opportunity elsewhere, and they also know that the need is there. So they got to do that quick. Quick.
Because you know what? The WNBA, they don't want to go out like Blockbuster.
Girl, you don't want to be Blockbuster.
They don't want to go out like Blockbuster.
Come along.
But the crazy part about that story, Cari, is Blockbuster had an opportunity to buy Netflix.
Exactly.
And they didn't do it.
And they didn't get on it.
And Netflix put them out of business, essentially. So yeah, like, you don't want to do that, especially when you had the idea of creating an American league. I mean, not that this was the first women's basketball league ever created on American soil, but you had a decided advantage over everybody else, especially with the link to the NBA and the marketing and built-in marketing and television deals. Like, you had all of that on your side, and to quickly see some of your advantages be kind of chipped away at. It's like, to your point, it's like, they got to act, and they have to get some leadership in there that has some real vision, like the type of vision where you can lay out what the WNBA is going to be the next 50 years. Like that, so you need that kind of vision. In their dream world, there would just be one league, and that would be it. If that's what they really wanted to do, you wouldn't need an off season. You would need 2 off season leagues. But I don't even know if that's what they even are trying to think about, or even if they think that these 2 off season leagues, these winter leagues, are even competition. Maybe I don't know what the foresight is. I don't know what they're thinking. That's why to the point of, I think they need some leadership to get in there, and I don't know if that's Kathy. I don't want to call for her job. I don't think
again,
it is.
But I don't think it is. Kathy. I don't think it is either.
Real quick before we get out of here, speaking of leadership, so the WNBA, decided that they were not rescinding this technical foul that Caitlin Clark got when they had a very heated game against Phoenix. And, there's a little bit of bad blood there. DeWanna Bonner, she used to be with Indiana Fever. She pieced out on him and was like, yeah, I'm tired of all this. Let me go back and play with my girl AT and as in Alyssa Thomas. And so Caitlin picked up another technical for aggressively clapping. Something.
Are we talking? You already cut Caitlin, and now you about to talk about it now.
Why you bringing up old shit? Why you bringing up old shit?
That just happened just
it's old, Cari. It's old, and you bringing it up. Okay, I don't appreciate it. But just so everyone is aware that in the WNBA, if you get a text, you get suspended. And so her being suspended, I agree. This is something that she said in her post-game press conference. Her being suspended is basically imminent because there is no way, given her level of competitiveness and how she be talking real greasy to these officials, there's no way that she's not going to get suspended. And it's interesting to me how she has sort of turned this into she's being penalized for her competitiveness. And I don't think she understands that's not what it is. Is that I expect every player, stars, everybody, they going to give the officials the business. Anytime you watch the NBA, WNBA, college basketball, high school basketball, it doesn't matter. No player ever committed a foul in the history of their entire basketball career. Like that. That's just how they act. It's like they've never committed a foul.
When I tell you, do you remember there was this McDonald's commercial? There was a friend of ours he is in the NBA, and he used to say the only man that's telling the truth was a kid in the McDonald's commercial. It was a McDonald's commercial they used to run all the time, and the kid was like, "I didn't do it, coach. I didn't," whatever. He's like, "That's the only person who's telling the truth."
Who telling the truth?
You're right, because everyone didn't do it. Like literally, they didn't do it, and I. Where you're going with this conversation when she said it's inevitable because she probably will, that's accurate. But it's also presenting this narrative. She's not a victim. She's just not. If how many people, I think it would be interesting if we could Luka Doncic has never filed. It would be interesting.
Never filed in the history of his career, if you ask him.
Never once. I would like to know how many people get suspended. How many ladies in the W have been suspended?
I would be, if I had to just guess, I would be shocked if Diana Taurasi had not gotten suspended before because she was somebody. Because DT
definitely.
DT
I wouldn't be surprised by that. But I'm really. But she don't it. She's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think
she definitely owns that there's some officials and sometimes when she was trying to do that.
Like, on purpose. She getting in the head for sure. Mm-hmm. She's lovely though. Just lovely. Also, side note, just a lovely lady. Mm-hmm. I know, right? So just lovely. But I don't want her to be a victim, and I don't want us to make her a victim. Not us as in you, but I just don't want this narrative to change that people are piling up on her. That's why I was kind of joking a little bit about the start bench cut, right? But the reality is that this is what it is, and we're going to have to be okay with having these conversations. Like, you just got to have these conversations. And I hate that we even feel like we got to tiptoe, or whomever has to tiptoe around these conversations. I think that this is going to be a real problem for her if she doesn't get this under control. I think that if she gets too distracted by what people are doing, what the refs are doing, if she thinks the refs are out to get her, she's going to get in her head, and that's going to affect her game. She's going to have to really lock in and stop thinking people are out to get her, because that's just not what the case is. I think, in fact, they let her ride for so long. They let her ride. They let a lot of things ride for so long. You said that. That was someone we had on the pod. They let her ride
Trista,
with her.
We had Trista on the pod, and I recently saw something she posted where, not as a media member, but as a fan, she sat courtside during one of Caitlin Clark's game, and she was like, the stuff she was saying, she was like, she was surprised that she didn't get teed up because it was so. And she's somebody who's followed and covered basketball for a while, and she was like, I know what it sounds like when players give it to the officials, and what she was saying was, Caitlin Clark's behavior with the officials and what she says to them is so far above what everybody else does. And most times they are letting it ride. But now what she doesn't want is to start, because as a Pistons fan, I used to see this happen a lot with Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace versus the refs is a rivalry you could do on your podcast for real. Because
That's next, season 3.
That's next. Yeah, that's Rashid versus the refs, because it got to a point. What'll happen is, because officials talk, but you will grate their nerves so badly that you will create an enemy out of them, in the sense of it's not going to take much for them to blow the whistle. And that's why. Oh my God! Right? It's like
that's Chris Paul.
It won't take much. And when you develop that reputation, it's hard to undevelop it. And so right now, while she has an opportunity, I don't want Caitlin Clark to lose her competitiveness, but I don't think her competitiveness has to be tied to her being a jerk to the refs. Like, those are not the same things. Like,
what you're saying is channel that fire for good, because people do enjoy that fire. People do like seeing her be locked in.
Love the demonstrativeness. Love it. And I'm not even saying don't stop advocating with the officials. What I'm saying is it's probably about 4 or 5 words out of your lingo that you probably shouldn't call them. You probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fair.
That's it.
Fair.
But
okay, before I let you go, because RIP to your mentions. Before I let
now that
you
you
go,
set me fully up. See,
I didn't set you up. I answered the question too, and I answered it. I answered it too. What are you talking about? It's a game. We played a game. I said to start bench cut. It's a game. Start bench cut. Who you gonna start? Who you gonna bench? Who you gonna cut? Oh, we have to clarify this in the tag. According to the AU website, Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball is a women's professional basketball league in the United States. The league features 40 of the best women professional basketball players in the world. AU is providing more opportunities for women to play professionally in the United States, also giving WNBA players the option to remain in the U.S. year-round. Okay, so it's not a developmental league, is what you're trying to tell us, Buffy?
Well, when I said developmental, I meant in the sense that you have some players who have been, fringe WNBA players, or who have bounced around a little bit. And so it's an opportunity for them to kind of sharpen their skill set or whatever, and so that they can continue or
to play in the league. Yeah,
to play in the league. Saying. So like that, I meant it in that respect. So it's not like I didn't mean it was a G League.
Yeah, because they're gonna look at you like, although they are having a WG League. You do know that. A version of the G League for the W. Yeah, so much basketball girls coming, which I think is going to be amazing. I think that's going to be really, really special for some of these players who come straight out of college and they only play a season or 2 in the W. I think that's going to be a good place for them to land. That's coming up too, but we'll talk about that. I know the pod is getting ready to end. Really quickly before I let you go, top 5 cereal choices.
Oh yes, because you blasted me about my cereal because we were discussing.
I forgot. Yes, she was on the cover of Wheaties.
She's on the cover, and it's a terrible cereal. Yes. Okay. And I've never understood how you have these great athletes on the cover of the cereal box, and you have this totally trash cereal. It just didn't make any sense. But my top 5, and I don't know if I can.
And no particular order. Yeah, they don't have to be in order. Yeah, but give me your 5.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I was about to say that. We totally forgot about Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
Crunch berries. And
Captain Crunch? Is it Crunch Berries or Captain Crunch? Okay, Captain Crunch. Okay, same.
I would even just say, I will go all, because now they have you can get a box of cereal with just Crunch berries. And so I'm team
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's like unbelievable. I will, I'm going to put, I love me some Golden Grams. Love me some Golden Grams.
Golden Grams used to be the bomb. Okay, I like this list, Jemele. Go ahead.
Golden Grams. Also gonna say Frosted Flakes.
Shredded.
Are you 62 and need a fiber? Okay. What? Why would anybody eat shredded wheat?
Frosted shredded wheat was my favorite. Frosted, go on.
Gary, that's not a flex. I just want you to know that is not a flex. That's a very poor choice. Frosted. It's like, why are you eating frosted straw? That's what I want to know. Why are you eting frosted straw? It's like
so good. It's so good. You put it in the milk. It's so good. I don't mean to interrupt. It's so good. It's so good. You put it in the milk and let it soak. This is so good.
Yeah, so you can get a frosted soggy shoestring. And rounding out my 5, I'm going to say Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios. I love Honey Nut. Okay, I love it. Okay, we're pretty much in agreement.
Look at that.
Except for that you don't like the frosted shredded wheat.
No, I think that's abysmal. Really, fix that.
I also like Raisin Bran. It's so good.
I used to mess with some Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran is good. But anyway,
but you gotta eat it in 2.2 seconds. Because
it's going to be gone.
All right. Anyway, enjoy South of France or not. Don't enjoy it.
I will.